much do you miss having him around?
I miss Dan and Kathy. They're awesome. They were here for the weekend, and you know, he stays in touch, sends me a text every week. GATA. I mean, y'all know what GATA means. Every Saturday, sends me a text message. Anybody needs a translation for that, it's get after their, butt, with an A. So that's just Dan. So keep in touch with him, and it was good to have him here this weekend. And I'm sure he stays in touch with his guys and encourages those guys as well.
When you rotate as much as y'all are rotating on the offensive line, what are the dividends that come late in games and late in the season?
Well, you just don't panic. All of a sudden, get Mitch Hyatt, gets a little gimpy. He's jogging, 75's jogging off the field, just put the next guy in, and you keep on playing. You don't have to, like in the, remember we were playing LSU, and we only had like one tackle going into the game, and then all of a sudden he gets hurt. I think it was Gift Timothy, and Gift's hurt, and then we're taking Isaiah Battle, who's a freshman, and throwing him out there, and I'm like, look, just get run over slow, what are you gonna say? Man, they had some creatures on that LSU defense. That defense was unbelievable. If you go back and look at that defense, I think they all were drafted, like all the two deep. Unbelievable. And we were at Taj Boyd. Man, Taj Boyd played the game of his life in that game, and he took a beating. But he just kind of kept getting up. So, I remember we were down at South Carolina one year. I think it's when Clowney was there, and Philip Price was hurt. And Philip Price was, he was the best we had. So it's just we've just developed great depth. We've recruited well. Robbie's done an awesome job of getting guys that bring versatility. Smart players, and we can move a lot of guys around. So I really feel like we got 8 guys that go start, 9 probably, and we keep on playing, and so it's a luxury for sure.
Chad Smith told a neat story yesterday about Military Appreciation Day being a little more special to him given his family history and stuff. Just what is he like, and what does he bring to this program?
Chad, he's like this all the time. It could be the littlest thing, and and it'd be like here's Chad, and this is a product of how he's been raised. His dad, John. His dad is I don't know. He's some type of CIA agent or something. I'm not sure what all his dad does, but he's at the Pentagon, and he's done all this stuff. He kind of scares me when I get around him because he's just like this all the time, and Chad's just like that. In fact, Chad's sister was getting married this past Friday in Atlanta, and Chad had come to me like forever ago. Coach, I know it's Friday of the Florida State game, and my sister will be getting married, and it was like at 0900. He's like, Chad. That's kind of how Chad is. He's just a very, I just want to put my arm around him and say, it's all right, buddy. It's gonna be good. But he was very, he's just so respectful, I guess is the word. He's just such a respectful, and has such a great respect for the chain of command and authority and so forth. And I think that is just ingrained in him. And it's just a pleasure to be around him and coach him. But he, bottom line, he went through this whole deal to try to get permission to go see his sister married Friday night in Atlanta, and I will be back. I will leave Thursday night right after practice. I will be back at, he had his itinerary, and I'm like, hey man, you go enjoy your sister. We'll be here waiting on you Friday night. I was like, now, how you gonna get your car from the hotel? And then sure enough, his dad followed up with an email too. I know Chad was supposed to talk to you, but and he had the itinerary. So, yeah, they're a family of detail, and covers all their bases. And I love Chad, man. He just, like I said, he has a great respect for the process that he's going through and what it takes, and just a very focused young person. And just a great family, great mom and dad, and really proud of Chad.
mentioned earlier that this team has done a lot to win you over. Outside of what's been going on the field between the lines, has there been moments off the field that stand out to you in particular of how special this group's become?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just watching them in their community service. I get a little sheet every week, and it's comments from our team, comments from our players, what we call the Swinney Council, and because I don't meet with the council, and but we kind of engage them in a certain way every week, and I get that printout and just reading their words and listening to how they think. It's just this has been an inspiring bunch to be around, and like I said, watching how they interact with each other as a team, how they care about each other, how they've responded to adversity, watching them again in the community service and how they just embraced every second of that. This has been a fun team, and the great majority of these guys will be back next year, and they've gotten great experience this year. This was supposed to be a rebuilding year, transition year, but these guys didn't get into that memo. They just continued to believe and that they could be a championship caliber team, and that's exactly what they are.
Everything turned out okay with Trey Lamar, and
yeah, his MRI was good. He had a stinger, and you get things like that, especially when it's kind of lingering. You want to really check the neck area, make sure there's no whatever discs or whatever, and everything was perfectly normal. He just has a really irritated nerve, basically, but he'll be fine.
Early in the season, defensive in-depth was a concern. Logan goes out for the season. Juergen's out before the year starts. How satisfied are you with the depth of defensive end? How has that depth grown since all that stuff happened?
Well, we not quite as fast as I would have liked it to, but I hate that Logan got hurt. He did get a little bit of experience, so hopefully that's something that'll pay off for him next year. Excited about him. Xavier Kelly has a sack. He's had some flashes. He's had a little bit of experience. He's a developing guy. He's one of those guys that I think has every tool. Just has to put it all together, and that's just us. We got to help him in that regard. Justin Foster is coming. I'm very encouraged with Justin. Sometimes maybe you guys don't see it, but we do as coaches. Justin is making really good progress. Chris Register has been a very dependable guy for us all year, which is what we needed. Juergen was a big loss for us. He's grinding and working, and excited to get him back. So, I think we've been fortunate because we've been able to stay pretty healthy there, and really haven't had to spend a whole lot of time with Christian, bumping out and playing there. But always he gives us a little depth too.
Dabo, the ACC announced the kickoff times yesterday for Miami game and your game with South Carolina. They got an extra day and a half on you guys. Does that matter to you? I know it's a couple weeks away.
Well, it's just, it is what it is. There's no sense in worrying about it. We don't have any control over that stuff, so we just play when they tell us to play. It's kind of like an open date. Sometimes we have an open date before a team, and they're playing a game the week before, so you got 2 weeks to get ready. So, I know it's a championship game, and but I think they've had it's always been a Friday game for them. But, hey, listen, we've been, what is this, 13 out of our last 14 or 14 out of our last 15 games or something on the road at night. So it's just kind of, it's just where we are. Just roll with it, We'll be ready to play.
Anything else?